Hi guys, I'm Anna. Welcome back to NYU Roomies, and I'm back with.
Leon, hello, my name is Leon. I already said that, but it's Leon. I'm an IDM student, which stands for Integrated Digital Media. Yeah. The way that IDM kind of works is as a freshman, you take all of your intro and foundation classes, or you should take all your intro and foundation classes, and then you get to focus on what you want to afterwards. So you can focus on film or game design or programming or
That's
what
cool
or
though. Okay, so
okay.
how did you choose your major?
Um, so I actually originally applied as a computer science major, and then just because just because I felt like, oh, I wanted to do computer science, and that's kind of what I did in high school a little bit. So after I got into NYU, I was like, I don't want to do computer science because I know that because I read that computer science at Tandon, it just wasn't for me. It's computer science isn't really my thing anymore. But so I was looking at the other majors that Tandon offered, and I kind of read, and I was reading about IDM and how it was kind of like a mixture of an arts major and then a STEM major, and how there was a lot of cross collaboration between computer science and virtual reality and film and design and all that stuff, which really interested me.
But it's funny though, because as an arts major, I feel like everyone gives you so much problems with the fact that you couldn't have gotten in
Mm-hmm.
if you were a different major, but you actually got in
Mm-hmm.
as a computer science major.
Yeah,
And computer science is
exactly.
I think it's one of the most competitive things at Tandon to get in
It
as.
is. The advisor told me this, but I don't know if it's true. But apparently, IDM is the most switched into major at Tandon. Like in IDM, you get 18 free elective credits, so you can take 18 credits from other majors, and then if you switch, they still
Oh,
apply
that's so
to an IDM.
convenient. How was your reality at Tandon compared to your expectations?
My reality. Okay, so going in freshman year, I kind of didn't have any expectations for college. I was
Really?
just like, yeah, no, I really want to go in thinking anything. Really, the only expectation I had was that I wanted to get involved on campus and to do things, which I kind of did through um hall council and then
Yeah.
IRC. But what? Um,
Flexing on that
but
IRC status.
I have to, But as for my reality, I would say that going to Tandon in particular was actually really good for me, just because you I spent a lot of time on the Manhattan campus, but it also kind of felt like you could go home after.
No, yeah, I
You could do
understand.
all this stuff over there, and then you can come home and still have another life that's a little bit different
Yeah, I felt like
than
it was
being
living a double life, kind of.
Washington Square Park and stuff. You feel like there's always people everywhere, and then you don't really have a community. But then being at Tandon and then also living in Othmer, you kind of just feel like, oh yeah, I have a group of people.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say that your schedule looks like?
Okay, so my schedule was actually not ideal for both of my semesters, and that's just because I had for my last semester, I had 8:30 classes Monday through Thursday, but I also never had class on Fridays for either of my semesters. And a lot of IDM classes, they don't have a lot of Friday classes, so there's a good chance that you can have 3-day weekends. But anyway, um, they do have a lot of morning classes. So from 8:30 to 10 or 11 to 12, they have a lot of those. Or 10:30 to 11, they have a lot of those type of classes. Um, and then they also have a lot of afternoon classes. But for last semester in particular, my course was kind of interesting because I took 4 classes, and then I would take classes from 8:30 to 10, and then I'd have classes from 4:30 to 6.
So
So
there's
I'd
a
have
gap in your schedule.
yeah, there was a huge gap in the
Did
middle of
you
my
like
day.
that though?
I did. I like that a lot because and a lot of people will say don't put gaps in your classes, but I disagree because one, I had time to do a lot of schoolwork during the day, and then I also had time, and I also would work, so I had a job that I would just go to in between my classes, and you get like a lot of free time that way.
I actually agree with you. I first
Hmm.
semester I didn't do any gaps and I was dead by the end of the day. I
Yeah,
was
it's
gone.
rough.
Like
Yeah.
it was like 10 hours of class and I was dead. Like I was actually like I couldn't even go to my last class sometimes. And I think that gap, like even like a 10-minute nap was like
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
helpful. So I
Mhm.
agree. How do you think that working in your schedule worked out with you? Like do you think it
So
helped?
okay, yeah. So for me, I worked. So here's like an actual really good thing about IDM. If you're an IDM student and you have work study, you can actually work for like the major doing different things around like the. I guess I have to kind of describe how the IDM classes are set up. A lot of the classes are in this place called Magnet, which is like one floor where they have a whole bunch of IDM classrooms and like an arcade and like a kitchen and a whole bunch of like stuff for IDM students to kind of work with. And then they need like student workers to like man all that stuff. So they hire other IDM students, which is the job I had. So I would rent out like equipment to IDM students. And it was really easy because I would literally just leave a class, get breakfast, and then go back
Stay in the
and
same
work, and
building.
then yeah, and stay on the same, literally stay on the same floor, like not even have to leave, like take an
That's
elevator.
really convenient. I asked you about your schedule, but how
Hmm.
demanding is your workload compared to like other students at Tandon?
Okay, so I've had to like defend
Your
my
major.
workload, my major and my workload so much. Like Anna already knows because we did a lot of stuff during the school year, but like people don't think IDM students have a lot of work or that their like work is really serious. And I will say that like if you can go into IDM and kind of like not put in a lot of effort and still pass your classes. Like if you don't put in a lot of work, you won't fail. But IDM is set up so that you come out with like a portfolio and you come out with connections and you come out with like knowledge on how to do things. So you have to really apply yourself. And when it comes to like your work, because all of it is like project based, you have to spend, if you want to produce something good, you have to spend a lot of time making things. Like I can remember staying up for like staying up till like 5 or 6 in the morning just filming things for like a project or like spending all day painting stuff for another project. So it really depends on how much work you put into it. But I would say if you want to succeed, then it's going to be a demanding workload.
After seeing and like listening to what you go through for a while now, I feel like you work really hard for what you want, and I think you're gonna go really far in your
Hmm.
industry just because like you're applying
Oh
yourself
my
in so
god,
many
thank
ways. Like you take an extra major, like you take an extra minor, like you
you.
you got this amazing internship to help you in your own field, and I feel like
Thank
you're
you.
just
Oh my
pushing yourself
goodness.
so far to get what you want, and I feel like so many students can't say that. And I feel
Hmm.
like they're like the reasons why people think art majors are joke, but like I feel like you are going to get there because you have the personality and you're like like doing really good work, and
Thank
I just
you.
like believe in you, if that makes sense.
No, like no, yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so how much time would you say you put into schoolwork every week?
To schoolwork. I would say that really depends because when it comes around to like midterms and finals, you're gonna have if especially if you're taking more than like 2 or 3 IDM classes, you're gonna have probably 3 or 4 large projects you're working on at the exact same time. So your entire week is probably just gonna be working on different things. And then on top of that, you're also gonna be taking like the required classes like EG 1001 or writing the essay or like the advanced essay, which is also like a bit of schoolwork. So I would say on like a normal week, probably like 20, like 15 to 20 hours outside of class, which isn't that bad. And then on like a midterms or finals week, you
Boom.
can probably find yourself pulling like a few
Oh,
all-nighters. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
do. Everyone at Tangent during final week is awake for the
Yeah.
longest time. What's the exam culture for your major?
Oh,
So I know you
okay.
guys don't really
So,
have like particular set
yeah.
exams. You guys have these huge
Mhm.
projects that are worth a lot of points, But you also
Yeah.
take like general class. I mean, I guess EG 1001 doesn't really have a final. It's a project,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
English is an essay, of course.
Essay, yeah. So, for the exam culture for IDM, I know if you're taking IDM classes, you don't have to register for the exam hour because you're not gonna have any exam hour tests. And if your professor does choose to give you like a test or a quiz, it's gonna be in class. Um, and then, but because of that, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, yay, you guys don't have tests. Like that must be so easy." But the issue is we don't have tests. We get projects, and then you get like three major projects. So if you like bomb one of your projects, you basically are gonna get like a C or a D in a class because you can't pull yourself back out. Like if you mess up your
Okay.
first project, you're done. Like or like yeah.
How have your professors impacted your grades? In the fact that like if you're like nice to your professor, like would you get a better outcome with your grades? Like how do your relationship with your professors affect your grades?
Yeah, so I would say if you are going to be an IDM major, definitely, like have a good relationship with any of your professors, as many of your professors as you can. Just because again, you're being graded on like projects, so so of course you'll have but a part of that grade is going to be subjective based on like
Yeah.
if your professor likes your work or not, which kind of correlates to if your professor likes you or not a little bit. So just don't be like a bad student to have in class. Most IDM professors are actually like adjunct professors, so they are actual like professionals, and like teaching is their side job, kind of,
It's a
which
little
means that
scary.
yeah, exactly. Which means that like they're not always going to be the best teachers, and they're criticizing your work as a professional would, not as a teacher. My 3D modeling class, my professor, he was like working on projects for like the Avatar movie with like the blue like alien people, like as he was like teaching us, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to like London to work on this movie." Da 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 da. And he would not teach us well at all because he
That's
would just assume
horrible.
we know things, you know.
I hate when
But
professors assume you know things. Like we all came from different backgrounds. You can't just assume that we
exactly,
all know the same information. Like
exactly. But then some of them are like really great. Like um one of my professors, and if I have to recommend professors,
which would you
so
recommend other students?
I would say for like as sorry, as of like first year, if you're coming in fall semester, to take still and moving images with Maria Dyer, just because it like she really helped me kind of understand like my own creative like process and my own creative vision. And I actually got my internship now through her, just
That's
because of like
insane
the
that you got it
relationship
from a
I had with
teacher.
her. I know.
So like that's
Yeah,
how much
as
your
like
professors can impact your career. Like they can make or break you.
exactly. They can make or break your career. And the
That's
thing is like
amazing.
she's really easy to talk to. She's a really nice person. And like I got an internship my first semester of college just because of like my professor, you know. And then if you're gonna take Visual Foundation Studio, I would recommend Sally Thurer, just because she really helps you like understand the whole like process of how to create something and how to like critique something, and she will actually critique your work, and it will make you better or it'll make you really sad. But it made me better. Some kids couldn't handle it, but
Oh,
it wasn't that bad. Yeah,
it
it wasn't
wasn't that
horrible. Like
bad.
she's not mean. She's not mean, but like she definitely will critique
Okay, so the
your work.
next question is:
Yeah.
have you ever needed to buy any textbooks for your major?
No, you don't have to buy a textbook, but like supplies you will need. Definitely get yourself an SD card, like a 64 gigabyte SD card. And if you're gonna be like doing film and photography, get yourself a good camera, because like they will rent you cameras, but a lot of times the good ones will go out of stock really quickly.
What opportunities does Tandon offer specifically to your major?
For IDM majors, you are allowed to double major at other schools, which is what I'm doing right now. I have a double major in MCC, Media Culture and Communications at Steinhardt, and then I'm also minoring in BEMT, Business of Entertainment, Media and Technology at Stern. They will let you double major, but the thing is, it's really new. Like I'm one of the first people in IDM to
That's
do a double
insane.
major. I know
That
that's
you're like
that's
one of the
what my
first. You're like a guinea pig right now.
yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's like with a lot of stuff in IDM, just because the major is so new and like it's only at NYU.
Yeah.
Like
Like
IDM
NYU
isn't
is the only school to
anywhere
have
else.
a major. That's so cool to be
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm one of the
It
first.
it's really the biggest thing about IDM is that you can do a whole bunch of different stuff with it. Like I know people who are doing IDM because they want to like research computer science. And I'm doing IDM because I want to do like marketing and publications. If you are an IDM student, try to get involved on in like things on main campus just because you will be able to like have a larger pool of like people to like talk to and a larger pool of
Yeah.
viewpoints and like perspectives, and that's really going to help when you're creating things or when you like need people to help you create things, because with IDM something that I realized is that like all the kids in your class will have the same project you have, and they'll all have it due on the same time. So if you need help, you're going to need to like get help from someone who's not in your class.
Do you plan on pursuing grad school? Why and why not?
um so kind of like what I said earlier, I'm not really in IDM to do like research or stuff like that. So I personally wouldn't be going to grad school. But I do know that a lot of IDM, like you can be doing IDM for a lot of different reasons. And IDM actually has a master's program. Like you can
Oh, really? At
get a
Tandon?
master's in yeah, at Tandon. And they even have like an accelerated, like you can do 5 years and get your bachelor's and your master's if you
That's
wanted to.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. And I was gonna do that before I did a double major, so I'm not doing that anymore. But anyway, so I do know a lot of people who are doing like a master's in IDM just because you get to like just because IDM is so small, you get to meet a lot of different type of people, and it really just depends on what you want to do with the major. Like some people are doing, like I said, research. Some people are more into like the math and science side of it, or the
Yeah.
like technology and engineering side of it. So they would need to like do grad school.
But I just want to
Oh,
mention that, Leon is the IHC board and he's
oh my
the.
god! Oh my god!
But I think that's honestly insane that you got it, and I'm very proud of you.